Chapter 78. The Angel's Power. Visiting a Star. Thereupon the angel takes Jara to every side of the mountain, and she is persuaded that although the mountain has not lost in height, it nevertheless can now be climbed from every side without danger, and especially facing away from the sea, where it falls gently. Having convinced herself, Jara says, "The thing is so amazing that I begin mistrusting my senses, having to think I am asleep and dreaming. Could you let me in a little on how such was possible to you? Earlier you lifted up the entire sea, keeping it afloat as a droplet in the air. And now you have made the steep mountain accessible from all sides, and all this in a most rapid moment. How is this possible to you? You never left your position, yet all this was carried out. Ah, this is too much for me, little earthworm." Says the angel, "Right now you cannot of course grasp this as yet, but a time shall soon come when all this shall be as clear as the sun in broad daylight. But this much I can say unto you, that out of ourselves we angels can do nothing, but only through the one and only almighty will of the Lord, whom you love so much. Behold, all the world and all the heavens are but thoughts and ideas, held in place by the most unshakably firm will of God. If he retracts his ideas and dissolves his thoughts, then the visible creature passes instantly. If, however, the Lord seizes upon a new thought, holding it fast within his almighty will, then the creature is there at once, visibly. Ask Jara, "Well, what in that case is there for you to do?" Says the angel, "We are purely receptacles of the divine will, and thereafter the executioners of same. Behold, we are, so to speak, the wings of the divine will, and are therefore, in fact, the divine will itself, and only the faintest thought of us combined with the power of the divine will. Then the task is already completed, and thus such speed with our actions. Do you see yonder bright star towards the east? Behold, if a paved road led there from here, then verily, the earth does not have the number of grains of sand for the number of years a bird would need to reach it, let alone a man running. Yet for me, it is possible to get there in a moment. You shall not notice my absence, yet I shall nevertheless be there and back. Do you believe me?" Says Jara, "Why should I not believe you such? But there can of course be not talk of my being convinced, because I would not want to make a journey with you there like to the seabed." Says the angel, "But why not? Are not all things possible to God? If it pleases the Lord, it doesn't matter to me. That no harm shall come to you I vouch for, together with all the countless angels you see shining brilliantly on all sides." Says Jara to me, "Lord, is this indeed possible?" Say I, "In this angel's arms indeed. You can, if you want to, hand yourself over to him, and in a few moments you shall be back here with me, well preserved. But fetch yourself a souvenir from there as well." With these words, Jara assigns herself to the angel, saying, "Behold, I have the courage. carry me there if you can." Thereupon the angel picked Jara off the ground, and pressing her fervently to his bosom, disappeared. In 10 seconds he was back here with Jara, who had a stone in her apron which shone as brightly as the morning star in its most brilliant light. On recovering somewhat from her amazement, Jara asked me, "Oh, Lord, are all these countless stars what yonder star is, which I have now actually beheld with my physical eyes, or the eyes of my feelings? For that certainly is a vast world. This world compared to that one now seems like a snail shell compared to this mountain. Also humans, completely perfect humans, living in unspeakably huge yet marvellously constructed temples there are also in yonder outsize and grand world. But these people are so colossal that they would exceed this mountain at least threefold if standing at the sea below. Thus everything in yonder world is 1,000 times 1,000 bigger than here. We stood upon an exceedingly high mountain and beheld a never-ending area in all directions. This was crisscrossed in all directions by the most marvellous streams, whose waves played in continuously changing, freshest colours of the rainbow. The soil was built up with the most magnificent gardens and temples. The next moment we found ourselves with the temples below, seeing the huge people and their much bigger dwelling temples. These people are good to look at from a distance, but at close range they resemble moving mountains. I would have had to put a very high ladder up against the small toe of such a person there to climb it. In short, I could be telling you all my life about what I saw there in just a few moments. But this would mean blubbering the time away which you, O Lord, have allocated for something better. Only this I want to find out from you, whether these countless stars also are worlds like the one I saw. Say I, "Yes, my child, and that much bigger and glorious ones." But tell me, are you now firmly convinced that you were upon yonder star with body and soul in these few moments? Says Jara, "Lord, my love and my life, we flew there in 4 short stages. Right up to the 4th stage the star had the appearance of stars. But with the 4th stage it became as big as our sun by day. From there it took only the shortest moment before we were in yonder magnificent world. From the mountain peak where we found ourselves first, I loosened a little stone from the ground, as suggested by the angel. It is this shining lump, and took it as evidence that I really was there. More I cannot tell you about my actually being there.